With your help, we can give all babies a fighting chance. Meet a guest who's working hard to do just that. Coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at the Myrtle Beach Herald. We're focused on this Saturday's Horry County Walk America, and we're visiting with its chairman, Dennis Wade. Good morning, Dennis.
Greg, how are you?
Doing well. Getting excited about this Saturday.
We're getting ready to walk.
It is going to be a monster event.
It is. We're really looking forward to it. A lot of hard work has gone into planning for Saturday's events, and we're hoping a tremendous turnout, a lot of walkers, good weather, a lot of fun. We'll have a lot of fun.
You got to be feeling good right now, Dennis. So much has been leading up, and this is a year-round process.
It really is. A tremendous planning effort goes into it, not only just from the committee that we have planning, but it reaches out and really out into a lot of the community, schools, businesses, do things throughout the entire year. And the culmination of Saturday, just shortly 72 hours away, is the celebration. All the hard work has been done at this point, and we are really excited. Our team counts have been absolutely fabulous this year, and we really never know how our money's going to be till right at the last minute, but we are getting wonderful reports. A lot of fundraising has taken place last week, as a matter of fact. Forest Brook Elementary had their walk at their school, and they raised over $5,000.
Oh, come on.
Tremendous.
You are kidding.
That is wonderful. They did.
All that's added into the pot for
is.
the big event.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Golly, Dennis, how exciting! And I attended one of the later events, the one at Medieval Times, and hearing some of the results at that point about a month ago. As
right.
You're getting ready for the walk, and to start hearing the numbers, I think that day Blue Cross Blue Shield at 14-some thousand. So many of the groups. I mean, that's just one of so many of the folks involved.
So many, and people are doing all kind of things, from dress down days where they, employees pay $5, whatever it may be, to dress down for the days, to the candle sales. Patriot Paintball actually is having some contest to raise money for the March of Dimes, both here and for Georgetown County. Just a lot of fundraising efforts going on, and that's really the culmination is the walk, is really the celebration of all of that. And a lot of people have really been working hard over the last year, and the committee and Colleen and Joe Fisher over at the March of Dimes have done just a tremendous job, so we're extremely pleased.
For you, Dennis, of course, they came to you a year ago to recruit you to come in as chairman. I understand you're actually back in next year as well.
I'll do it one more year, and with the transition of the executive director, with Colleen coming on board now, that we felt like to have a little transition going in for the 2005 walk, that I agreed to stay on. And this has been a tremendous learning experience for me, and really getting to meet a tremendous amount of people in the community. And I want to continue that for next year. And at that point, we'll have hopefully have someone that will take over the reins for 2006.
Exactly.
But it is a very rewarding role that I've been able to work with the March of Dimes and all the folks on the committee, and I'm looking forward to another year of doing that.
What was it about when they came to talk to you that first time, Dennis, to talk to you about possibly serving as the honorary chairman of the Walk America chairman, and you hear that title, honorary, and knowing that as a volunteer, you're going to be putting a heck of a lot of time in, grunt work up and down, covering the Strand to get folks either involved as walkers or sponsors or team captains. But for you, what was it a year ago or whenever they came to you originally that made you say yes? Was it a personal commitment? Was it a family member, someone you knew that had been affected by the March of Dimes?
Have not had any family who've any premature birth or any issues directly in our family, but who can really turn down the mission of the March of Dimes, and that's helping save babies' lives. And it's just such a compelling mission that I couldn't say no to it. And really, from my standpoint, and getting to learn a tremendous amount over the last 9 months about what the March of Dimes does and how they use this money that is raised with the walk for research, for education, for helping families who have had a premature baby. It is it has only strengthened my resolve for the March of Dimes and what they do. From my standpoint, the last 9 months and learning about the March of Dimes and actually having an affiliation with Parker Wilson, our ambassador baby, it really brings it home. And we actually had one of our committee members probably about halfway through the campaign who was personally touched with I believe a sister-in-law who had premature birth. And so it does touch people that we know and people that we're close to. But fortunately, I have not had any direct experience with premature birth or issues with infant mortality. But it really makes you appreciate and really the concern for folks who do.
And it's been so exciting to see so many vehicles, whether it's broadcast television, whether it's radio. You've gotten a ton of broadcast support, seeing TV 13 spots on 43, on PD, all across the board. To have seen last week and week before last in the Ori Independent, the big spread they did. To have seen the Sun News in their neighbors section do a big spread on the Walk America. To see the Myrtle Beach Herald do a big spread. It's been very exciting to see that broad support. And I think it's that mission, saving babies together. It's pretty difficult to say no.
That's absolutely right. And you know, from the research standpoint, not knowing why premature birth is at the alarming rate that it's at, hearing Wendy talk about Parker and her going through her pregnancy and really doing everything that you should do to have a healthy birth, healthy pregnancy, and to come up early in the pregnancy and know that she's got complications, and having followed all the best practices and really not understanding why it happens. And that's really with the prematurity campaign that the March of Dimes has rolled out nationally, is trying to find the cause, why this is happening.
And of course, when someone says, sometimes when they're talking goal setting, they'll say, we're raising funds for a certain date. I mean, this is raising funds with no necessary date in mind. They don't know when they can find a cure. They don't know how much needs to be raised or how many experiments need to be engendered to actually find something happen.
Tremendous amount of research, even in South Carolina. Our local chapter has dedicated hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars to research at MUSC, the medical school at University of South Carolina, on specific issues targeting with infant illness, infant mortality. So there's a lot of things that are happening locally, but even at a national level, a tremendous amount of research. And I think one of the other selling components that really piqued my interest was 92 cents out of every dollar that's raised goes into the March of Dimes programs and education and research. So it's for a very worthy cause.
That's got to be one of the highest rates in the country. I think I saw in a March of Dimes piece last week 800,000 not-for-profits in America, and to think that the March of Dimes was in a premier category of 5 or 6 of the top charities that really have that ability not only to serve very well, but to have so much of every dollar going back to research to find a cure.
You're right, and we actually sat in on a meeting about 3 weeks ago and learned about some of the grants that the South Carolina chapter had actually awarded throughout the state. Extremely worthwhile causes, and you can see where they're actually putting money directly back into the communities for a host of purposes, not just, the research is extremely important. I don't want to downplay that, but being able to impact local communities with, assistance with families who've had a premature birth. It may be communication materials to expecting mothers, really getting down and touching, everybody in the local level as well.
They talk about the cost of a birth, the mother or the family, the cost associated with the birth. You multiply that times 10, and you're at about a minimum of what it's going to cost if your child's due in May and instead they're born in February.
Right.
That if they're due normally at 8 pounds and come in at 1 pound and 3 ounces.
Last year, I think the number was approximately $14 billion that was directed towards babies who had been born prematurely. It's just a tremendous added cost associated with the medical treatment and medical care for those babies, and that's, if we can have an impact on the cause, obviously, being able to direct those resources towards other purposes is very valuable.
And a volunteer or a donor does not know if their dollar is going to be the one that pushes it over the level so that that person stays an hour later in the research lab to find that cure. It's so powerful knowing that you just don't know what your dollar will touch, or your 50 cents or your dime when they kick that off.
That's right.
Way back when.
One thing I'd like to mention is for the folks that will come out on Saturday, every walker who shows up, whether it's $1 or whether it's $100, we actually have national level sponsors. If you show up with $1, there's matching dollars that will accompany that.
Right.
So you don't. A lot of people feel I need to raise a tremendous amount of money. We encourage folks to raise as much as you possibly can. But even if you show up with just $1, we're going to get extra benefit, bang for the buck, for you showing up with that dollar. If you raise $100, then the March of Dimes will actually give you one of their Walk America T-shirts, and this
great.
is our
Yeah,
T-shirt
keep
for
that
this
up.
year's walk. Very nice design, and we hope to see everybody wearing one of these on Saturday.
Absolutely.
So, we encourage folks to raise $100. You get your walk T-shirt, but even if you show up with $1, we want you to walk. We want you to have a good time.
That's a great slogan. Use your feet to give premature babies a hand.
That's right.
That's a great slogan. And of course, it really wraps around the simple aspect of just folks getting out there. Talk to the viewers real quick about this Saturday, kicking it off in 72 hours. Of course, you'll be out there 70 hours from now, just all morning, I know, getting ready for the registration kicks off at
9 a.m.
Okay.
At the pavilion. The walk will begin at 10 a.m. Prompt, and we will walk about 5.5 miles up the beach from the pavilion up to 48th Avenue, turn around and walk back. And a lot of activities. Before we walk, we're actually going to have some activities there at the pavilion, doing some warm-up, getting everybody ready to get out there on the beach and walk. Sounds like the tide's going to work with us in our favor, so we'll have plenty of beach to walk on. And when everybody returns, we're going to have a lot of food, hot dogs, pizza, soft drinks, water, all kind of things for people to do. The pavilion and Burrs and Chapin has actually agreed to allow people to go over and ride the Hurricane, which is somewhat of a tradition for the last couple of walks. We'll have some kids' activities there. We have some clowns. So we've got a lot planned. Really, a really fun day all around. We'd ask that everybody get there as close as they can to 9 to register and to have everybody ready to walk at 10.
You've got a ton of volunteers manning this Saturday. Is there any more room for volunteers, Dennis? If a viewer wanted to volunteer?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Just call the March of Dimes office. It's 488-3463. Easy way to remember it is 488-DIME.
488-DIME.
Any volunteer that wants to help out, we'll be glad to get you involved. There's a lot to do Saturday morning to get ready, and the more hands we have, the better it'll help. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah, and if you just want to come out and walk, we encourage you to do that.
It's getting someone there the first time, the experience of getting out there, being out with others, knowing that there's a common goal there of saving babies together or finding a cure to prematurity or so many of the other things the March of Dimes doing. But getting out there is so vital. And this is rain or shine. I know
Absolutely.
We're expecting good weather right now.
Right.
The weather could turn tonight, and so you never know. But you all are going to be out there no
Rain or
matter
shine,
what.
we'll be there. And I think everybody, rain or shine, will have a good time. It'll be a fun event. We have Allison Reinhardt has agreed to MC the event again
great.
this year, and
Yeah.
she always does a wonderful job. So we're looking forward to her. We'll have some door prizes as well. So when you sign up, get your ticket. Hopefully you'll be the lucky winner of some of our door prizes also.
Mm-hmm. Dennis, let's talk real quick about yourself for viewers who may not have seen you before, met you in the community. You came to Myrtle Beach when?
Came in late '97, moved here from Columbia, and started with the Jackson Companies as their CFO.
Right.
And the Jackson Companies, for those who may not recognize that name, is several businesses: Ocean Lakes Family Campground, Prestwick Country Club. We also have our real estate development over at Saybrook at the Bypass. So I've really enjoyed it in the almost 7 years that I've been here.
That's exactly
Wonderful
right.
community.
Yeah, I thought about that this morning, thinking Dennis has been down a good while, and of course you're a Lancaster native.
Lancaster native.
So
That's
the
right. I spent
Palmetto
my
State-
summers here in the beach.
Oh yeah, that's exactly right. And then a good while there in Columbia. And I think we talked about it earlier today. The excitement of being with a group there, CPA there in Columbia,
That's
and then
right.
coming down to work with a family-owned operation here at the beach is very exciting.
Been very rewarding.
The Jackson Company set the stage for you and multiple vice presidents within the company to get really active in the community.
They really have, and we were actually last year were the recipient. The company was a recipient from the Chambers Community Service Award, and really throughout our officer ranks down to our frontline teammates, the company really endorses getting involved in the community, being part of the community, and giving something back, and as part of the culture that we have within the company to be active and to be out there helping.
I know, and it is amazing. And of course, this Saturday is such a big day for the March of Dimes. It's also a huge day for the Miracle League, and of course,
Absolutely, that's right.
we're just so sorry those kick off at the same time. Lance Thompson, one of your vice presidents, who's very active on the March of Dimes board,
Right.
and the American Art Association board, of course, is going to be out at the Miracle League. Just wishing he could be over at Walk America, but knowing he's got to
And
be
we're going to
there.
have
That's
people
right.
wishing
And
they
you,
could be over there with the Miracle League as well.
Exactly.
So, unfortunately, there's only so many weekends, and you try to get them scheduled as best you can. Unfortunately, they're conflicting on that Saturday, but I think if you can come to one,
Right.
if you can come to both,
Yeah.
possibly, I think either one's going to have a great
And
time.
a lot of people can. Fortunately,
That's
you
right.
can get out and register. Stephanie Turnmeyer was with us yesterday morning, and she stressed, even though that folks are arriving at 10, the games really don't start till 11.
Right.
So the excitement is the ability to get over to the pavilion at 9 a.m., register to walk, whether you got $1, as you said, or $100 to get a T-shirt, the excitement of being there walking. And you also said, folks don't have to walk the whole way. There's not a pace.
right.
You can even jog it or run it, but there's not a pace that you're forced to do. So that's very important.
Get out there and enjoy yourself, and talk to other folks, and it'll just be a very festive event. Matter of fact, you don't even have to walk. If from the March of Dimes standpoint, if you want to raise money to help the March of Dimes, we consider you a walker, even if you decide that you don't want to walk on Saturday. We want you to walk on Saturday. We'd love to have you out there, but should your schedule conflict and you can't make it, if you want to help the March of Dimes and you want to raise money, you're a walker as far as we're concerned.
Okay, great. So if you could call the 488-3463 number
Correct.
to get a location where they could send in a donation if they can't be there this
Absolutely
Saturday,
right.
or of
Absolutely
course to
right.
find out more information if there's something they've missed from hearing the two of us talk. Ambassador Baby, that's an important concept. I know you're talking about Parker. I know you're talking about his mother and father have been so excited to see
They really
their
have.
son. And the other important thing you pointed out, Dennis, is there was nothing Wendy could do. I mean, she had no way to know, having had a child already, born at a normal birth weight and
Right.
time, and to have their second child arrive 3 months early.
And really to have no reason for what happened, what took place. And as she has said repeatedly, she put her situation and put Parker in the good Lord's hands, and everything has worked out very well. Parker's got he's had a long road to hoe already, and will continue with his size and the development. It'll take him a while to really grow and get the strength that he needs, to develop. But just a wonderful ambassador this year for the March of Dimes, and just the happiest little boy you've ever seen. And I think you could take all of us out of the limelight when we actually had Parker at our kickoff at the Jackson Companies, and Wendy brought him down, and he just stole the show. I mean, he is a wonderful ambassador, and we're just lucky to have had Parker and his family and extended family. They actually have a team, Parker's team, and they've raised a tremendous amount of money. So,
I bet. You think about, you think now at 13 months old and 13 pounds, or right under 13 pounds, the excitement of being able to mature and grow, but at the same time knowing there are complications now. There were complications 13 months ago, and those complications will have an impact throughout, either because the family's always remembering it, everyone close by is remembering the impact that he's had on them. And how will the Ambassador Baby, how will Parker be involved in this Saturday's event?
Parker will start, and his family will start the walk. and they're going to have him in a stroller that they're going to make it. I'm hoping they make it the whole 5.5 miles up and back. But they will start off the walk and will be part of our program there and let everybody really see what a beautiful baby and what a beautiful family that he's part of. And I think one of the aspects of Parker, if you haven't had a chance to look at the Myrtle Beach Herald or some of the other publications, the Sun News, to really understand just how small he was a matter of 13, 14 months ago, and to see him now is tremendous.
It is a powerful thing, and I'm glad you said that, Dennis. It makes me think. We've seen those pictures, and of course, as we look at them and think about them, the birth at 1 pound and 11 ounces, and seeing that. And Colleen Shanley was with us last Thursday, and she brought in 2 examples. She brought in a normal baby's diaper at birth and a premature baby's diaper at birth. She brought in a ring and showed that ring and held it up as the size of a premature baby's leg or arm at that time. It's a pretty amazing thing.
It is, and to hear Parker's father, Michael, talk about holding him really in the palm of his hand. He was so small. It's hard to fathom that a baby can be that small and be born that early and still breathe on his own. And today, with everything that he's been through, have the prospect of living a normal life but that's really where the March of Dimes plays a role in helping that process come out.
Dennis, Nick Sherfesy's been with us a number of times, and when we talk about, and of course you've learned about this over the last 9 months, but some of the complications that a premature baby faces, some of the basic, obviously we talk about the size, but what are some of the ones you've heard either talking to Wendy or her husband and hearing about Parker's situation, or just some of the anecdotal evidence you've heard about in the area that a premature baby will face?
A lot of times you'll end up with the neural tube defects with the spina bifida, and actually Wendy at one point they thought Parker was going to potentially have spina bifida, but there's a lot of varied complications. I think the main thing with Parker has been his development of his respiratory system and the breathing, and he's been in the hospital a tremendous amount for basically making sure that his respiratory system is developing properly. And I think with his development, that will be an ongoing issue that they'll have to monitor and work through. But I think that's probably been his biggest challenge from a respiratory standpoint. And luckily, all the testing at this point, he has really no other mental, physical limitations. And to see him in action, which I hope everybody on Saturday will see him in action, he's just the happiest little thing that can be. But there's a lot of folks who aren't as lucky as Wendy and Michael, and who have lifelong treatments and lifelong implications they have to deal with. And our goal is to make sure that with the March of Dimes is make sure that we can find a cure, find the cause of this problem, so that every baby comes in this world has a chance to lead a healthy life.
Absolutely. As you stressed earlier, Dennis, with a viewer's help or with any of the walkers that'll be out there, with their help, they can give babies a fighting chance. Absolutely. And it's that effort to really work hard to give them a fighting chance. We got a couple of minutes. You've been talking to a lot of groups locally. You've been talking to the teams and the team captains, and it's normally a team push. But the real push is just to get folks out there this Saturday.
That's right. And tell your friends, tell your family. We've encouraged all the schools that we go into. They're our children. They're the future of tomorrow. We want them to come out and really to have the children have a great time, have the adults have a great time. But tell your mom, tell your dad, let's go walk on the beach on Saturday. What better thing to do, and to help babies like Parker and others who are born premature and who may suffer from infant conditions.
Lastly, Dennis, when you think about the impact of an inspiration like Parker, seeing him and his parents come down, or his mother come down there to the Jackson Company's kickoff, to see them out as ambassadors in the community. That's been a big inspiration for you, hasn't it?
It really has, and that's, as I mentioned earlier, that's where for folks to really be able to make it come home, make it become real. It's, you know, it's not another child that's from another state, another portion of the country. This is, it's happening here, and 8 children a week in South Carolina are born premature. And, you know, it's one of those things, it could be your neighbor, it could be someone within your family, and we really just don't know why. But, you know, I think from all that we've done, our goal is just come out and have a good time Saturday. A lot of the money's been raised, and we are so appreciative of all the teams and all the folks who have helped. Saturday's a celebration. We want everybody to come out and really just enjoy themselves.
Those words are really simple. Just come out and enjoy yourself this Saturday. It is a celebration. It's a celebration of life. It's a celebration of birth. And it's a celebration of giving babies a fighting chance. It's guys like Dennis Wade and all the volunteers within the March of Dimes getting ready for this Saturday's Walk America that make the celebration even that much more exciting. Dennis, thanks so much for being with us this morning. Absolutely. Stay tuned to more Carolina People with Dennis Wade coming up next. One in 8 babies are born prematurely. Every day a baby fights for their lives, and every day the March of Dimes is working hard to help them win. Get out here this Saturday, Myrtle Beach Pavilion, 9 a.m. registration. The walk kicks off at 10 a.m. You can call the March of Dimes at 488-3463 to learn more. Get out here and support Dennis Wade, and particularly get out there to support Parker Wilson and his family as they kick off the walk at 10. We need your help.